So the Hawaii Honolulu mission is a really unique mission. We cover all the islands, and not just Oahu, but we cover, I think, 6 out of the 8 islands. So there's Kauai, there's Oahu, there's Maui, the Big Island, Lanai, and Molokai. And so those are the 6 islands that we cover. And so transfers are really interesting because it also involves getting on a plane, going to a different island. The mission office and the mission home are on Oahu. They're in the Honolulu zone. They're in the city, and so that's where we call the hub. You know, all the missionaries gather there for transfers. We leave from there, and so I was fortunate to be in that zone. So I saw a lot of missionaries come in and out. A lot of things happen, and I was really up to date with things. But you know, when I was on a different island, and it wasn't that much. It wasn't so. The missionaries all have an opportunity to go on a different island, and which is really lucky. I was lucky. I was on 2 different islands. I was on Oahu and the Big Island for about the same amount of time. So I was on Oahu for 10 months and 8 months on the Big Island, and so really lucky. Totally different. All the islands have their own little culture, their own little thing, and Oahu is more of the city life. The Big Island is very much country. Small town, country, big space, and so, you know, just very different, very different. The church in Hawaii there are a lot of members, but there are also a lot of less active members, and so a lot of people, even if they aren't members of the church, they'll have a family member who's a member of the church, or they'll have like in-laws who are members of the church, and so we are pretty well known in Hawaii. They know us as the Mormon missionaries, and they kind of know. They think they know what we believe in, but most of the time they don't. But and yeah, just there are 2 temples. There's a temple on the Big Island, and there's a temple on Oahu. So Laie is where the temple visitor center is. So sisters are specifically called to the visitor center to serve there and to give tours and things like that. It's also near the Polynesian Culture Center, and BYU Hawaii is also there. The Kona Temple on the Big Island is smaller. It's very small. There's only like 1 room, and so, but it's beautiful. Both temples are beautiful, and it's in areas that really serve the people around the surrounding islands, and I was fortunate that we got to go every 3 months, and so as long as we were on an island with a temple. So I was on an island always throughout my mission with a temple on it, and so I was really lucky with that. And it's an experience, different experience in and of itself to go to the temple as a missionary. You know, there's different things that you ask for and that you pray for and that you kind of receive revelation for, and so it's a good mission. Yeah. So we usually fly to different islands, and so keeping the 50-pound limit was easy for us because a lot of us had to leave, and yeah, so we flew. And it's unique because it's one of the most expensive missions in the world, not just because of the housing or the living expenses, but also because we flew around a lot. And so the leaders of the mission would fly, I think once a transfer, so all the mission leaders would come in from the different islands to Oahu and go back to the different islands, and our mission president and the assistants would also travel around for zone conferences and interviews, so we go to each island. So it's a pretty expensive and intense way to do transfers, but it's fun. We got to talk to a lot more people on the planes and things like that.